I remember when I was shooting for the last schedule of Ishq Vishk, I was reading about Farah Khan debuting as a director, and the famous choreographer Farah Khan we all knew, but the industry was very excited about her debut as a director. One fine day, my manager called me and said that, Farah Khan wants to meet you. And there was a music video that I had done, which Farah Khan, I think, had seen. So I went to meet her at Satyam Hall, which was this dance rehearsal hall in Juhu. And I remember as you enter Satyam Hall, there is this really tiny and small, narrow and small balcony before you enter the dance rehearsal hall. And Farah was sitting right in front by the window. And as soon as I entered, I saw her. And she said, I've seen this ad of yours. It was a coffee ad. And she said, the first question she asked me was, can you dance? And I was like, I said, I'm not formally trained, but I have been practicing under Saroj Khan now for my debut film. And, Ahmed Khan is choreographing me for Ishq Vishk. I'm doing a film with Ken Ghosh. And Farah apparently knew Ken because they both were, I think, college buddies, and they were also dancing partners at one time. So they knew each other. So she was a little comforted to know that I was chosen by Ken Ghosh for his film. And I remember, there was this in the dance hall. I could peep in and see these dancers choreographing on Chale Jaise Hawaii, and the song was playing, and I was like, very, very strong and energetic and peppy dance number. So Farah said that I would need to audition you for your acting, and come and meet me tomorrow at Shah Rukh Khan's office. So the following day, I went to this really rickety old building in Carter Road called Amrita, which was apparently Shah Rukh Khan's first home that he bought, if I recall correctly, which later on he converted into an office space. While Farah was directing for Main Hoon Na, she was given to operate from that office space. So I went there, and it was an empty flat, an empty apartment. And there was this guy called Jagrat, who was Farah's assistant. And Farah was late. So we were waiting for her. And meanwhile, I got chatting with Jagrat. So I asked him, I said, can you explain the scene to me? And can you tell me about, what we're going to do? So Jagrat was completely excited, and very beautifully he explained the scene to me. And he told me the dynamics and, a little bit of the characterization of Sanjana and Major Ram, because that was the scene. It was that, the scene in Main Hoon Na where Sanjana confronts Major Ram and tells him that she was always the girl who wanted to be the boy for her father because he had disowned her. He wanted to have a son, and because he had a daughter, he sent her to boarding school, and they didn't have this good rapport. So it was that scene that Farah wanted me to audition for. So Jagrat and I, we rehearsed the scene, and by the time Farah walked in, I was quite comforted and easy with the scene. So Farah placed this camera and on the stand, and she looked at me from the camera and she said, you know what, you're very photogenic. So I said, thank you. And so she said, okay, you want to go for a rehearsal or you want to just go for a take? So I said, we can go for a take, and if you don't like it, we'll do another one. So she said, okay. So then I did the take, and at once she said, I like you. Now it is for Shah Rukh Khan to decide whether he also likes you and whether he also wants you to be a part of Main Hoon Na. Because it was Shah Rukh Khan's production, Red Chillies, and he was a very important part of the entire project. So it was important that he also approves of me. Oh, but she also told me one thing. She said, would you mind going for the rehearsal of the song, the same song that the boys and girls were rehearsing for. She said, "Can you go for the rehearsal if you can?" So I said, "Okay." And I remember that evening, I have actually gone to this dance rehearsal hall, Ajivasan Dance Rehearsal Hall in Juhu. I entered this hall and there were these Farah Khan's main dancers, Geeta Kapoor and Firoz, and boys and girls, and this high energy chale jaise Hawaii rehearsal was going on. And I really enjoyed being a part of that rehearsal, because there was a lot of choreography and a lot of movement and hopping from one place to the other, one corner of the rehearsal hall to the other. And I was enjoying this, but not knowing if I would come back to this film, to this song. And then, I came the day when I had to go and meet Shah Rukh Khan. So I remember that the very first time I met Mr. Khan was, there was this Hyatt Regency Hotel, which had newly opened in Andheri East. And Mr. Khan was shooting for Chalte Chalte. And I remember when I entered the premise, the hotel premise, I think there was some outdoor shooting going on, and there were actors like Satish Shah. I could see them. I couldn't see Mr. Khan. And Farah was with me, my mom was with me. And then she made us, we were made to wait in this, I think somewhere in the foyer of the hotel. And it was a very, very long wait. I remember the wait was endless. Like, I think I must have reached there in the afternoon, somewhere around like maybe 2:30, and it was like 7:38. It was such a long wait. And I was famished, I was tired, I was hungry, I had a migraine headache. And, I was like just waiting and waiting and waiting. And then came the time when Farah said, "Okay, now Shah Rukh is free and he can meet you." And Farah, I and Shah Rukh, we entered this really tiny conference room of the hotel. And I sat, and Mr. Khan walked in and he saw me, and he was like, "Yeah, let's go ahead with her." And I was like, "Really?" I was thinking to myself, because he was like, he told me that, "I've heard that you are very good in The Legend of Bhagat Singh. I have not seen the film, but I've heard that you are very good. And yeah, let's go ahead." So for me, it was like, oh my God, after all this wait and all this while of thinking that, okay, I would be asked few questions, I would maybe have to, do a scene with Mr. Khan, and then they would approve of me. Here walks in Mr. Khan, and within few seconds, he just says, "Yeah, she's the one, let's just go with her." So I was like, oh my God, okay. It was a mixture of feeling fantastic, and at the same time, why did I have to go through all of this? But it was nevertheless, it was the most wonderful experience of shooting with the King Khan himself.